Elara. She is an architect with a heart made of gold and a spirit that seeks harmony in every room she enters. In the bustling halls of her firm, she is known as the nice one, the person who never says no, always listens, and puts everyone else's needs above her own. Her workspace is a sanctuary of order, yet beneath the surface, there is a quiet fatigue growing in her eyes. Elara believes that being good to others is the highest virtue, and she carries this belief like a shield, unaware that it is slowly becoming her cage. She walks through the office with a gentle smile, offering help to anyone who looks even slightly stressed. Her kindness is not a strategy, it is her nature. Throughout the morning, Elara finds herself pausing her own critical deadlines to help a junior designer with a software glitch, or to fetch coffee for a teammate who forgot their own. She views these small acts as the glue that keeps the team together. However, she doesn't notice the subtle pattern emerging, how her colleagues have begun to expect her assistance as a right rather than a favor. The atmosphere is professional, but there is a slight weight in the air as Elara's own to-do list remains untouched, while she solves everyone else's minor inconveniences. Then there is Marcus, the senior lead, whose charisma often masks a sharp edge of opportunism. Marcus has long noticed Elara's inability to decline a request, and he has cultivated a friendship that serves his own career trajectory. He approaches her desk with a practiced smile, his presence commanding and slightly overbearing. He talks about teamwork and the big picture, but his eyes are always on the bottom line of his own performance reviews. For Marcus, Elara isn't just a colleague. She is an untapped resource of free labor and creative ideas that he can easily claim as his own. The conflict begins subtly, as it often does. Marcus drops a massive folder onto Elara's desk, a project he was supposed to finish by Friday. He explains with a sigh of feigned exhaustion that he is completely underwater and that Elara is the only one with the talent to handle the final touches. He doesn't ask if she has time. He phrases it as a compliment to her skills, a classic manipulation tactic. Elara feels the familiar tightening in her chest, the urge to say that she is already overwhelmed, but the words die in her throat. Instead, she offers a small, hesitant nod, accepting the burden. The sun sets, casting long, orange shadows across the empty office, but Elara remains. She is alone, the blue light of her monitor illuminating a face that is now etched with exhaustion and resentment. This is the hidden price of being too nice, the late nights, the missed dinners, and the quiet erosion of self-respect. She works through Marcus's project, fixing his errors and elevating his mediocre ideas into something brilliant. Every click of her mouse feels like a betrayal of her own time. She wonders why she feels so drained when she is only trying to be helpful, unaware that her kindness has become an invitation for exploitation. The next morning, the betrayal becomes public. Elara stands at the back of the conference room, watching as Marcus presents his latest proposal to the board. He uses her words, her designs, and the very solutions she stayed up all night to perfect. He doesn't mention her name once. As the board applauds his visionary work, Marcus catches Elara's eye and offers a quick, dismissive wink. The realization hits her like a physical blow. Her niceness hasn't earned her respect or gratitude. It has only made her invisible. She is the ghost in the machine, providing the fuel for someone else's fire. Later, in the quiet solitude of the office restroom, Elara stares at herself in the mirror. She sees the dark circles under her eyes and the way her shoulders naturally hunch forward, as if trying to take up less space. She asks herself the hard question, why am I doing this? She realizes that her niceness is often a mask for her fear of conflict and her desperate need for validation. She has been trading her peace for the approval of people who do not value her. This internal struggle is the turning point, the moment where the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the fear of change. The climax arrives sooner than expected. Not an hour after the meeting, Marcus returns to her desk, buoyed by his success and bolder than ever.
He drops another project in front of her, even larger than the last, and tells her he needs it done by tomorrow morning for a follow-up presentation. He doesn't even offer a compliment this time. He simply expects it. The office is quiet, and the air feels thick with the tension of Elara's impending decision. This is the crossroads where she must either reinforce her role as a victim or break the cycle of manipulation once and for all. Elara feels the familiar surge of anxiety, but this time she doesn't push it down. She takes a slow, deep breath, feeling the cool air fill her lungs. Her heart is racing, and her hands are trembling slightly beneath the desk, but she keeps her eyes fixed on Marcus. The silence stretches between them, becoming uncomfortable. Marcus frowns, confused by her lack of immediate compliance. For the first time in her career, Elara isn't smiling. She is present, she is grounded, and she is finally ready to speak for herself, regardless of the consequences or the potential for conflict.
"No, Marcus," she says, her voice clear and remarkably steady. "I cannot do this for you. I have my own projects to prioritize, and I need to ensure my work is credited appropriately in the future." The words feel like a physical release. Marcus freezes, his smile faltering as he looks around to see if anyone heard. He tries to laugh it off, calling her sensitive, and trying to gaslight her into feeling guilty, but Elara doesn't blink. She repeats her stance, firm but polite. She isn't being mean. She is simply being honest and setting a boundary that should have been there all along.
The atmosphere in the office shifts instantly. Colleagues who had grown used to Elara's compliance look up from their screens, some with surprise and others with newfound respect. Marcus, realizing he has lost his leverage, huffs and walks away with the folders in hand. Elara sits back down, her heart still pounding, but the heavy weight that had been sitting on her chest for months has finally vanished. She realizes that the world didn't end because she said no. In fact, the world seems a little brighter, and she feels more like herself than she has in years. In the days that follow, Elara begins to reorganize her professional life. She sets clear office hours, uses a project management tool to show her true workload, and communicates her contributions directly to the partners. She is still the same kind, empathetic person, but she has added a layer of discernment to her interactions. She learns that true kindness includes being kind to oneself. Her desk is no longer a dumping ground for others' laziness. It is a space where her own talent can finally flourish, without being overshadowed by the shadows of manipulators like Marcus. Elara's life outside the office changes too. With her evenings finally free, she reconnects with the hobbies she had abandoned: painting, walking through the local park, and spending quality time with friends who actually reciprocate her energy. She finds that her relationships are deeper and more honest now, that they aren't based on her constant self-sacrifice. She walks through the green paths of the park, the golden hour light filtering through the trees, feeling a profound sense of peace. She has learned that being nice doesn't mean being weak. It means having the strength to protect your light. The lesson Elara learned is one we all must face. Nice people get manipulated not because of their goodness, but because of their lack of boundaries. Manipulation thrives in the space where you fear to say no. Remember, your time, your energy, and your spirit are precious resources. Do not give them away to those who only wish to use them for their own gain. Kindness is a superpower, but only when it is directed by wisdom. Be kind, be helpful, but most importantly, be the guardian of your own worth. Don't let your light be stolen by those who won't help you shine. If Elara's story resonated with you, it might be time to check your own boundaries. You deserve to be respected for your contributions and your character. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to our channel for more stories on personal growth and psychology. Hit the like button to help this message reach more nice people who need to hear it. And comment below with a time you finally stood up for yourself. Thank you for watching, and remember, being good to others starts with being good to yourself. We'll see you in the next story.